Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey! Good evening. It's my Papaversary, y'all. Today I make 9 years with Paparazzi accessories, and so I just wanted to come on here live and talk about my journey in the business. Some things have happened in recent years, and one of my good friends in the business, Tina, messaged me and said, have you told your story? And I said, no. I don't even think I said no. I don't even think I answered her. I think I rolled my eyes at the message just because of the emotions behind what has transpired the last few years. So anyways, I thought I would come on here and tell my story live. So if you don't know, my name is Lanicia Mayberry. I am an elite independent consultant with Paparazzi Accessories, and today makes 9 years. I can't believe it's been 9 years. I've officially been in a direct sales business longer than I've been with any employer. And it's not that I'm a bad employee, right? Because I was in the military for 6 years and I worked on, y'all hear my chair? I worked for the Social Security Administration for 8 years and now have been with Paparazzi for 9. And so it's been a pretty amazing journey. Lots of highs, lots of lows, and lots of lessons learned. So let me just jump right in to my story. And my Paparazzi story actually begins before I joined Paparazzi, right? And just a brief disclaimer, y'all. I'm a Mayberry and we are not light-winded, but I will try to tell this story as quickly as possible. So, my first direct sales business was with Avon. I loved Avon because you could start your Avon business at that time for $10. Okay, $10 got you in the door. That's when they first started having websites. The website was free. You just had to pay for all the other stuff, your catalogs, your ring sizers, your samples, your bags, your receipts, all the extra stuff that you had to pay for out of your sales. And so since it was my first real experience with direct sales, I really didn't know what to expect. So when I was with Avon, I had to distribute the catalogs, of course. I knew a lot of people who bought Avon. I was working at UPS at the time, so a lot of my coworkers out there bought Avon from me, and then family and friends also purchased Avon from me. But it was a lot of work collecting all those orders, handwriting out all the receipts, and then collecting the money, sending everything up to Avon, making sure, every I was dotted, every T was crossed, send everything and the money up to Avon and wait for them to send me the product back plus my money. And so I never really made what I felt like was a lot of money with Avon, and I was sending up like $300 and $500 orders to them, and I think maybe the most I got paid was maybe $30 because there was so much overhead, because every campaign there's new catalogs, new samples, new whatever that you had to get for your business. And so it was a lot of overhead and not very much money. So I think I did Avon for like a year. And then December of 2014, I was invited to a 31 party online. And I can't remember if my sponsor shared the opportunity with me or if I just liked what I saw and joined. But I did join. And I was very excited about 31 because at that time I was working for Social Security, and a lot of people in the office were buying 31 items, the bags from 31. They were familiar with it. And so it was very easy for me to just walk up to somebody in the office and say, hey, when you gonna let me do a party at your house? That's exactly how I did it. I did not ask. And everybody obliged. Oh, we can do it on this day. A couple people told me, well, I already have a 31 person, and that was cool. But some people still, even though they had a 31 person, still allowed me to do parties at their house. I did very well with 31 when I lived in Kentucky. I earned all my Start Swell kits, which is part of their onboarding process. You have to make so much money per party, and then you earn additional kits to go with your display for your parties, which helped you get more orders. So I did very well. I joined January 2015, and then March of 2015, I finally got my transfer from Kentucky to come back to San Antonio. And so I was really excited about coming home, but I didn't know, gotta sneeze. I didn't know what that was about to do to my business. Excuse me. So, transfer home. Started trying to build my 31 business here in San Antonio, and yeah, folk weren't having it. They were just like, what is 31? First of all. Two, they were like, it costs how much for that bag? So my 31 business kind of went, yeah. And so just to back up a little bit, in March of that same year, my cousin joined Paparazzi, and she asked me to join her team. And I told her, no, I just joined 31. I don't want two baby businesses at the same time. I'm doing very well. I see you doing very well too. I'm good right now. So fast forward, I came home. Nobody was buying, and all the money that the extra money that I was used to having in between pay periods from Social Security was no longer there. So my cousin circled back around to me about Paparazzi, and she was like, there's a lot of 31 girls that do Paparazzi also, and they're doing really well. And I was reluctant to join, but then she started talking about how I could make director, and all I needed was 3 people under me to make director. I don't even remember what's required of you in 31 or Avon to advance in rank, but that to me, I was like, I can get 3 people to join me. And so I started talking to people because my goal was to make director the same day that I joined. So I started talking to people about the business, and I was just really excited and enthusiastic about it. And people kept saying, well, what's your website? And I wasn't about to give them my cousin's website. So I had told her I was going to join on Thursday, but so many people kept asking me for my website. I was like, oh, I need to get in here. And so I'm searching through these credit cards that I had. I had multiple credit cards. Excuse me. And it just goes to show you how critical my financial situation was at the time. Excuse me, for me to have multiple credit cards and couldn't find $99 except for one. Found it. I had just enough money to cover the kit and the taxes. Joined, and then immediately was afraid, like, what have I done? So I joined, and I did make director my first month in. I made director my first 17 days in the business. Only one of those 4 people are still on my team, but that's okay. Everybody that starts with you does not finish with you, and that's all right. So anyway, fast forward. That was October 2015. July of 2018. My business had grown to the point where my commissions had caught up with a bi-weekly check with Social Security, then my monthly take-home pay with Social Security, then it doubled what I took home for Social Security, and then finally July of 2018, I was able to retire myself and do Paparazzi full-time. That was a big deal to me. That was we talk about scary goals. That was definitely a faith leap. Leaving the job security, hearing my ancestors scream like, "What are you doing? You got a good job. What are you doing? You're leaving that good job to sell $5 jewelry." But I did. I left, and man, for 4 years, that was all the income that I had, and I was fine for that time period. But then the pandemic came along. And to be completely honest, during the pandemic, my business thrived. Everybody was quarantined, everybody was stuck at home. It seemed like their money was burning in their pockets. So it was nothing to get people to watch a 2, 3, 4 hour live and buy $5 jewelry. So my business did really well during the pandemic. It's when the world opened back up and people started going out again and people were just, getting used to being outside again, that, I wouldn't say it tanked, but it definitely decreased a great deal from commissions and sales. And so at first, I just tried to fill in the gaps with Uber. I did that for 8 months. I Ubered. And I liked Uber, I liked getting out, talking to people, and seeing different parts of the city that I hadn't seen since we were all locked in. And so just seeing parts of the city I had never seen before, and seeing the parts that have been built up since the pandemic. That was interesting. Meeting people from different places and hearing their stories, that was cool too. But it wasn't where my heart and my passion was. It pulled me away from my business. It pulled time away from putting sets together or coaching and mentoring my team, and it wasn't steady income either. So that was an issue too. And some people were like, "Well, why don't you just go live more?" And I'm like, because I could turn on this Uber app and I know for sure that I'm going to make X amount of dollars. Wasn't really quite sure about that with going live at the time because I hadn't built it back up. So I went back to work. And that has been a difficult thing to admit publicly. And that it was a pride thing, because I was so happy, so excited, so proud that I was able to leave a job with the federal government and be my own boss and be self-employed, and to have to return to being told when I could go on break and when I can go to lunch and when I can be on vacation, and having to account for sick time and just all the extra stuff that comes with punching a clock and working a 9 to 5. It's very sobering. I can see the mistakes that I made when I worked my business full time versus on this side of it, right? Hindsight is 2020. So looking back, I could see days where I could have went harder, right? Days where I just felt like at one point in the business, everything was happening so fast, the money was coming so fast that it seemed like it wasn't going to stop. And so I didn't even realize how much money I was making until I wasn't. And so I say that not to scare anybody. I say that to say I want people to be able to learn from my mistakes, learn from the benefit of my experience. If I had it to do all over again, I definitely would have stayed with Social Security maybe 6 months longer and stacked up some more money before I left to do it full time, that would have been wiser than just leaving cold. Health insurance wise, I really didn't have to worry about that because I'm a veteran and I get some of the best health care on earth at no cost to me. So that's definitely to my benefit. But anyways, so yeah, I went back to work in 22 and here we are in 24, still working, but I'm still rebuilding. I'm in paparazzi for the long haul. I'm here till the wheels fall off. I'm not going anywhere. I love this business. This company has treated me better than any employer in any direct sales business I've ever had. It's crazy to me that I've been in a direct sales business longer than I've been with any employer. The leg up that Paparazzi has on any other direct sales business that I've been involved with and that I haven't been involved with is the fact that we don't have catalogs and we get fresh new inventory Monday through Friday. And if somebody has a paparazzi lady, their paparazzi lady may or may not have the same jewelry that I have. And so it's okay to shop around. They don't have to feel like they're cheating because they bought a pair of earrings from me instead of their paparazzi lady. And so I love the camaraderie of it. I love the fact that our founders are willing to listen to suggestions of the people who are actually boots on the ground working a business, and they're always looking for ways to make the business better for us. You know, there's no comparison, corporate America versus direct sales. And I realized that direct sales isn't for everybody. I think some people sell themselves short. They don't even give it a try. For whatever reason, they say things like, I'm not a salesman, or I don't have time. Listen, when I joined Paparazzi, I was working for Social Security full time and I was in grad school full time and still built my business to a point where within 3 years I was able to leave my job. So that's definitely the goal again. And this time I'm not starting at ground zero, right? I still have quite an amazing team who hustles hard daily. And I'm just excited about where this is going. I don't feel like, I know my business declined, but my business declined because of my own actions, right? Because of me not seeing, not keeping up with the times and what was going on. Not transitioning, kind of like Toys R Us, right? Toys R Us didn't change to an online platform. I think that would have really saved them if they would have did it sooner. Toys R Us, Radio Shack, Circuit City, Blockbuster, you can go on and on naming businesses who missed a transition and didn't evolve, and so they ceased to exist. Thank God that's not my story, right? I did miss the transition, but I'm still in position to make moves and continue to move with the changes going forward. So 9 years, that purple smoke. This time next year, I will have been in the business a whole decade. That's nuts to me. Couple shout outs I want to make before I end this video, before it gets too long. Shout out to Team Hustling Honeys and Homies. Thank y'all so much for allowing me to be your leader. For dealing with my growing pains as a leader, right? My leadership style is definitely different now than what it was 9 years ago. And I'm pretty sure quite a few people on my team could attest to that. And so, we've kind of grown up together in the business. I've learned a lot about myself, and you all have allowed me to do so. So thank y'all, HHH. Love y'all very much. To my sponsor, Tyronica Carter, girl, thank you for circling back and asking me again, not giving up on me. Thank you for asking me again. Thank you, Kim, for the Papaversary wishes. Man, I can't imagine, even though there's jewelry in 3 out of 4 of the bedrooms in my house, still, I have no regrets. No regrets. So thank you so much for inviting me on this journey with you and not giving up on me, even when I have, kind of not giving up on myself, but just didn't believe as much as I should have. I'll say that. And I want to thank my mom. My mom joined this business with me. She was one of those first 4 to join, and she's no longer in the business, but she is a huge support to me in the business. She, she allows me to brainstorm and throw ideas. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And I mean, she joined the business to help me out, and she did tremendously. And so, and I learned things from her too, as far as like color blocking. Y'all look at my color blocking and be like, oh, but I got that from her. I didn't know anything about that. Buying, man, I used to buy all silver jewelry. I didn't buy any other metal. I bought what I wore. My mom taught me, you can't just buy what you wear. I'm just grateful to you, Mommy. Thank you so much for everything, for joining me on this journey. And lastly, I have to thank God, because without him, I wouldn't still be in the business. And I've learned so much about myself through the business. To be completely honest, I enjoy the admin side of Paparazzi more so than the marketing side. Reading the numbers, coaching, mentoring, designing graphics, putting trainings together, designing orientations. That's my ish right there. Reading spreadsheets, I love that stuff. Even packaging the jewelry and getting it out the door. It's all the marketing stuff that I'm really just not as good as other people. But the beautiful thing about Paparazzi is you don't have to be good at that to be able to sell the jewelry, because the jewelry sells itself. It does not show itself, but it definitely sells itself. And so I'm grateful for a product that I don't have to really push on anybody. It's affordable, and it's no big deal if they want it, right? You like these earrings? Oh, you don't like these? Well, there's plenty of other earrings that I have that I'm sure you will like. Take a look. You can't beat that price point. The fact that the jewelry is still $5 9 years later is amazing, because everything else has gone up, but our jewelry remains $5. And we still getting new jewelry Monday through Friday. Like, phenomenal. So I thank God for the opportunity and for showing me different parts of me in this business that I otherwise, would not have known that those things were there. So I have been talking almost 25 minutes and I'm finished. So thank you all for tuning in to hear my paparazzi story. 9 years in the business, and more to come, because I'm here till the wheels fall off. So anyway, you all have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.